This is the story of There's No Such Thing as a Dragon. You can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear the dragon wiggle his tail, like this. Let's begin now. Billy Bixby was rather surprised when he woke up one morning and found a dragon in his room. It was a small dragon, about the size of a kitten. The dragon wagged its tail happily when Billy patted its head.
Nice dragon.
Billy went downstairs to tell his mother.
Guess what? There's a dragon in my room.
There's no such thing as a dragon,
said Billy's mother, and she said it like she meant it. So Billy went back to his room and began to dress. The dragon came close to Billy and wagged its tail, but Billy didn't pat it. If there's no such thing as something, it's silly to pat it on the head.
If there's no such thing as dragons, then tell me, what are you? With your little orange head and your little orange tail and your little orange tummy too. If there's no such thing as dragons, please tell me, what is this? With its little orange nose and its little orange back and its very small little orange hiss. Mother says there's no such thing, you're not really what you see. If there's no such thing as dragons, I'm having a little orange dream.
Billy washed his face and hands and went down to breakfast. The dragon went along. It was bigger now, almost the size of a dog. Billy sat down at the table. The dragon sat down on the table. This sort of thing was not usually permitted. But if there's no such thing as a dragon, you can't very well scold one. Mother made some pancakes for Billy, but the dragon ate them all. Mother made some more, but the dragon ate those too. Mother kept making pancakes until she ran out of batter. Billy only got one of them, but he said that's all he wanted anyway. Billy went upstairs to brush his teeth. Mother started clearing the table. The dragon, who was as big as Mother by this time, made himself comfortable on the hall rug and went to sleep. By the time Billy came back downstairs, the dragon had grown so much he filled the hall. Billy had to go around by way of the living room to get to where his mother was.
I didn't know dragons grew so fast.
There's no such thing as a dragon,
said Mother firmly. Cleaning the downstairs took Mother all morning, what with the dragon in the way, and having to climb in and out of windows to get from room to room. By noon, the dragon filled the house. Its head hung out the front door, its tail hung out the back door, and there wasn't a room in the house that didn't have some part of the dragon in it. When the dragon awoke from his nap, he was hungry. A bakery truck went by. The smell of fresh bread was more than the dragon could resist. The dragon jumped up and ran down the street after the bakery truck. The house went along, of course, like the shell on a snail. The mailman was just coming up the path with some mail for the Bixbys when their house rushed past him and headed down the street. He chased the Bixbys' house for a few blocks, but he couldn't catch it.
Wait! Don't you want your mail?
When Mr. Bixby came home for lunch, the first thing he noticed was that the house was gone.
The house is gone.
Luckily, one of the neighbors was able to tell him which way it went. Mr. Bixby got in his car and went looking for the house. He studied all the houses as he drove along. Finally, he saw one that looked familiar. Billy and Mrs. Bixby were waving from an upstairs window.
Over here, Dad.
Mr. Bixby climbed over the dragon's head onto the porch roof and through the upstairs window.
How did this happen?
Mr. Bixby asked.
It was the dragon, Dad.
There's no such thing.
Mother started to say.
But there is a dragon.
Billy insisted.
A very big dragon.
At this, the dragon looked up and smiled, and Billy patted it on the head. The dragon wagged its tail happily. Then, even faster than it had grown, the dragon started getting smaller. It got smaller and smaller. And soon, it was kitten size again. Mother held the dragon in her lap.
I don't mind dragons this size. Why did it have to grow so big?
I'm not sure,
Said Billy.
but I think it just wanted to be noticed.
Everybody likes to be noticed, no matter who they might be. It's hard when people pass you and pretend that they don't see. Everybody likes to be noticed, nobody likes to be snubbed. And I know that most of all, everybody likes to be loved. Everybody likes to be recognized, at least I know I do. I'm happy when people know my name, and I like to know theirs too. Everybody likes to be noticed, nobody likes to be snubbed. And I know that most of all, everybody likes to be loved. And I know that most of all, everybody likes to be loved.